Hi, Tony Selza here. Welcome to the line. We got a great new technology we're showcasing today. Really a sign of the times. And finally, somebody is getting ahead of the times. Someone's asking the question, how do we prevent this? How do we stop these tragedies from happening? Bruce Canal is the CEO of Social Net Watcher. Social Net Watcher is just what we would think it is, right? It's using the internet software and building a solution to do some prevention in bullying at school. Am I oversimplifying this, Bruce, or is that really what you built?
No, Tony, you really nailed it. It's all about prevention and all about prediction. Mm-hmm. It's trying to get ahead of a tragedy before it occurs.
Right. It's really powerful how we can use technology today to look at all the information. You said this when I was doing the pre-interview, like the kids really are telling us that they're going to do these things. They're laying out this vision, sometimes, right? And so we can meet these tragedies before they happen and actually start to understand, use data to understand what is the pattern that's starting here, and then how do we alert the right people so we can take action to stop something from happening.
Exactly. In 87, there was a recent study, Tony, and 87%, and this is done by the United States Secret Service, in 87% of the cases where a child had either hurt themselves or come in and hurt some students at school, mm-hmm. they had told their friends through social media before they did it. That's 9 of every 10 cases.
Wow.
So we saw this as Social Net Watcher as an opportunity to put together a program, a software as a service mm-hmm. to the schools mm-hmm. that they can monitor their students. And the beauty of the program, Rich, which is really the thing we need to get across, is the students still enjoy their privacy mm-hmm. because we're scanning for a proprietary database. Mm-hmm. If kids are not talking about cyberbullying, if they're not talking about killing themselves, or they're not talking about killing some other student, we will never see a single statement, word, sentence, or anything on their social media. Mm-hmm. It's only when they talk about things where they're going to hurt themselves or hurt someone else.
I think that's an important distinction. I mean, knowing that we can have these tools and access to this information, the next objection is going to be, does this violate our freedom, But I think what you guys have done is have built a product that just looks at the keywords, looks at the sensitivity in the patterns, algorithmically getting smarter over time. That's really that's the power that technology has today in order to really make impact on some of these big real world problems, So that's really where, allowing not only the students to be protected, but allowing these administrators to know what's going on and to only act when the alarm bells go off, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the administrators and students, for that matter, when they first hear of this, sometimes they think National Security Administration, the NSA, is watching over us. Mm-hmm. But when they learn what it's truly about, they say, hey, this really has great value. And we see that you're not just scanning, not reading everything. So when the student talks about where at the prom or what car, dad's going to buy for his 16th birthday, we'll never see that. Yeah. But if he says, I can't take life anymore, I'm going to kill myself, that is in our database, and we push a real-time alert. And what parent wouldn't want that information? That's what we ask.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, it's kind of a no-brainer thing. And shifting gears on you, so you built this application, self-funded it yourself. You got it. You've got paying customers online, which is huge to come into your friends' family round and to be able to do that. Kudos for that. And now you're starting to take this out nationwide. Why wouldn't administrators do something this important to running a safe school? Why wouldn't they do it? Is there any good reason?
Well, I don't know if there's a good reason, but I will tell you some of the reasons we've heard.
Yeah.
They are sometimes fearful mm-hmm. of this information. They're fearful that if they might get it too late. Mm-hmm. They're fearful that it might be erroneous, and they're going to accuse a student which was only maybe joking on the internet. Mm-hmm. But here's what we say. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Mm-hmm. This is great intelligence. And for that 1 or 2, 3 times that you're ever going to accuse a kid of saying he's going to bring a gun to school when he really wasn't, I say live with it, because there's We saved lives. We've already saved the life of one student who wanted to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
We've already stopped guns from coming into the school. And I think administrators better be more fearful today about lawsuits where they knew about this information and did nothing with it.
Yeah.
There are several lawsuits around the country where social media was a part of it. Administrators elected or chose not to do anything with it. They ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Something has happened and they're being sued.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really,
And not just the student, Tony, not just the lawsuit, but think of the kids' tragedies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I mean, it's not just about lawsuits. It is lawsuits. It is risk management to schools,
mm-hmm.
but we're talking about kids' lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if even if somebody was joking, I mean, there's a point of coaching and really helping a young person develop, even if they were just joking about such a thing there. I mean, so even the exceptions to the rule are worth at least having a conversation. But, you know, this adoption of new technology in the school space, I've seen a lot of great tech being pushed through the education. The entire system needs to be transformed. And people like you have to be heard. That, like, the solutions that can help run a better school have to be heard. The education system has stayed the same way for almost 100 years. And we built an education system, right, to put people into factories and get them to follow rules. And now we've got to transform to allow these kids to survive in this new world. And that's really what you're doing. One of the things that your application does that I think is really admirable, it's helping kids survive in this world today, because, you know, they didn't have 8 different types of mediums coming at them, 50 years ago. They didn't have 8 different ways to communicate. They couldn't hurt themselves as much as they can now, 50 years ago, right? And I think that's what we have to get real with.
Right.
And that's part of what you're doing. Where do you see the vision of your organization going? Where's your product path headed, and how do you see this coming together as a solution?
Well, first of all, I would tell you this product is inevitable. It's inevitable in every school. It's inevitable in the K-12. It's inevitable in higher education. It's just going to be part of it. Mm-hmm. What we have learned is that young students have very little problems with it. Some of the high school kids, a little bit in the rebellious years, possibly. Mm-hmm. College kids, not much. Really, they understand it. We still have more problems with the 50-something administrators mm-hmm. than we do the 30 and 40-something administrators. So when I say it's inevitable, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Time
is going to make this, like any other malware or any other antivirus software that you have in your computer, you'll just have Social Net Watcher as a product that's monitoring your social media. Mm-hmm. But where we're also going with this is some other vertical markets. We're looking at healthcare. We have doctors and nurses that commit HIPAA violations. We have intellectual property that sometimes gets released by large corporations mm-hmm. inadvertently. We can make our database anything, and it can scan for anything. So we see that this product, this algorithm, has other vertical markets it's going to move to.
So taking the science and the system that you built and applying it to look for other preventative measures, right? I mean, using social to prevent other behavior. I think just even helping people get healthier would be another, because there's definitely, they're taking pictures of 2,000 calorie meals. There might be a lagging indicator of high diabetes, right? So that this could be part of that whole movement, using big data, using the web, using what people are saying about themselves to understand what is going to happen to them in the near future. I mean, great application where you've got it at Social Net Watcher. Love to see how we can help you get it out.
Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate this time. It's good that, it's really been nice that some professionals like yourself and others have recognized the value of this, because that's been the thing. It's been chipping away at some of the naysayers mm-hmm. to get down to the real meat, the people who really recognize the power of it.
I mean, I love it as a play, and I think it's needed as a society. And I mean, when you got those two things, I mean, those are pretty important things to align. So I mean, I think I'm excited for the business, and I'm excited to see a safer world for my kids. So thanks so much for taking it on.
You're welcome.